Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Engage on All Fronts. This is our third podcast episode and we are back, all three of us, myself, Morgan, Lawrence, and I've got no idea what we're going to be talking about today. It is a More Prime episode.
It's a More Prime episode. So, first of all, thanks everyone who tuned into our last episode. We've had some really nice feedback, and it's really nice seeing everyone just engage on all fronts. Got the brand in there, nice one. So today I had this idea at the weekend, and I've just ran it past the guys today. It's had mixed reactions, but we're going to see where it goes. And I thought what would be cool is to do a sort of overview in layman's terms. I can't remember what layman's means, but it just means simplified idiot terms of the 40k lore. And I'm going to try and recount that from what I know, and then the boys are going to jump in or buzz or make a sound, or Edit's going to put a fact check up on me afterwards, and we'll see how far we go. It's going to be
just blaring constantly. It's going to boing, 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 boing.
But I need a counter. Do you reckon? Have we got the graphic skills to do a counter on the side to do a little? We haven't.
Computers don't count that high.
Please.
We need I'd need a quantum.
A quantum computer. Okay.
To process all
those.
There's
only so many transistors you can fit in a nano micron of a
So I have read a lot of Horus Heresy and listened to a lot of Horus Heresy.
I see where this is going.
Are we going from 30k? We're not doing 40K.
No,
bro. I wasn't going from 30k. I was going from now.
Okay.
Before now.
What?
As in, I was going to go from Emperor.
4,125 to 1,000
BC. I was going to do BC. That's where I was going to go.
Well,
how long is this episode going to be?
I'm going to get it in 20 minutes. I'm going to do it in 20 minutes.
Bro, you're going to fit all 100 plus Horus Heresy books.
I'm going to try.
10 editions of 40k.
I'm going to real try.
In 20 minutes.
And please add in your favourite moments as well. Please add in your favourite moments. Because there's a load of them. So this is 40k in layman's terms.
40k in 40 minutes.
40k in 40 minutes, hopefully. Hopefully less.
40,000 minutes.
All right.
Nay chance.
All right. So from what I know, basically, first of all, there's a demon, and I can't remember his name, but I think he's
it's the one. Fucking start.
Yep, it's the one that's he's coming for you.
There's a guy.
You know who he is, Lawrence. You know who it is. You know the one who's coming for you. He's always coming for you. He's you see him in the dark.
Is usually coming
nah. You see him in the dark.
The first demon prince, Be'lakor.
Nah, not Be'lakor.
Okay.
Samus is coming. Samus is coming for you. So basically, I think Samus somehow kills the Emperor's brother. So this is back in the day when the Emperor was called Neof, right? So this is
I've got to interject. You've completely missed the war in heaven. You're about 100 million years.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm just going to start this from the Earth side. So ignoring the Necron lore, because
ignoring everything.
Xenos don't count. We're just here for Space Marines and how they got made, and that's the end story. That's all we care about here.
Mummy Space Marine and Daddy Space Marine love each other very much.
Exactly, and that's going to come up, although that's going to be a real difficult one to get through because I've forgotten half of that. So basically, I think some shamans all got around to pull their power together to basically create Neof, which is the Emperor, and he was kind of some supercharged psychic human who basically kind of popped up throughout humanity's timeline. And I know it's mentioned in I think it's Leader of Men. No, that's not the name of the book. It's something to do with men. Master of Mankind. It's popped up to be Alexander the Great. Could be Jesus Christ. Could be King Arthur. Do you know what I mean? So all these kind of key
So that fits because obviously the picture of Jesus when he's swole on the cross.
Perfect. It's an accurate representation.
Yeah.
So he gets created and basically helps guide humanity up to a point And then humanity gets like really weird, and this is not our time now, like in podcast time. This is like quite a bit further on, and basically they're doing loads of experiments. They're like nuclear wars. There's like blacking out the sun, all this sort of stuff.
An experiment, just a little,
just experiment,
little snafu.
And humanity kind of splits across, and I think there's like some crazy tribes that are like doing bioengineering and all this sort of stuff. And I also think at this time they get like a tribe of those people go to the moon as well, and you get like the Selenar gene cults on the moon. So this is all going on, and then basically
techno-barbarians, Morgan.
Techno-barbarians, that's it. And basically Earth at that point is kind of like Mad Max, and there's loads of techno-barbarians in different zones, and they're all like fighting for all their zones. And then the Emperor's kind of like, no, I need to bring humanity together. So what I'm going to do is create the Thunder Warriors, which are which are basically proto-space marines, which are genetic. That's my chicken just going. Genetically engineered space marines. Not space
That's
marines.
what the Emperor said when he was done. My chickens are done.
My chickens are.
That's
they're
my
hatching.
chicken, mate.
They're hatching. So he creates these like Thunder Warriors, and they're like super crazy brutal. Now, if I remember, they're actually meant to be more brutal than actual space marines and stronger than space marines, but they're just really like. They're not good, as in like the mutations and stuff.
They're like psychos.
They're like psychos, and like they kind of like
got like a really short
lifespan.
Half-life. They blow up and stuff.
Yeah. And I think he engineered that on purpose so that they wouldn't hang about and basically start becoming lords themselves. So
learned that lesson, didn't he?
Yep. So at the time, he was basically using these Thunder Warriors to take over Terra, which is Earth. And then secretly, he's creating like the next generation of Thunder Warriors, which are the Astartes, Space Marines. And that's where they segued in Astarte, the lady scientist. That wasn't about before in the original lore. I think that's just like come in recently. And she basically worked to produce the Space Marines. And then we had the Primarchs as well. I think it was around the same time. But that's when they make the first Legion. I think it's the Dark Angels that appear first and basically wipe out all the Thunder Warriors.
Can you explain to me, right? The Legions were made before the Primarchs, and the Primarchs just got shot off into space or whatever. How were and obviously like the Legions are made from the gene seed of the Primarchs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How were the Legions made?
Personally.
I feel like they just took the DNA
I think
from the Primarch.
I'm pressing the buzzer on that, I think.
Yeah, is that a buzzer press? We'll put someone in. But I feel they took the DNA from Primarchs while they were in their incubation tanks and used that to generate the gene seed. Because you're right. They all like take traits from their Primarch, and like because the blood. I think it's like the Blood Angels are like kind of crazy vampires when they're in their first Legion, and then they meet Guinness. That's
oh my god, this Sanguinis his name.
Guinness.
Sandy Guinness. Give me some Sandy Guinness. Roboto.
Robote.
Colonel Cause.
So Primarchs, the Primarchs then all get basically randomly punched into like one of those spinny coin things into the warp. And that happens, and they all go out to the galaxy and land on different planets, and then you kind of don't hear from them for a while. But then I think basically becomes like the age of, is it the age of conquest or the golden age? I think it's like one of the ages. It's like a good time, and basically they all go. The Emperor's like conquered Terra at this point, and technology's like going really well, and everyone's good. And then he decides to he doesn't want to keep all the Marines on the planet, like. He wants to get them out there, conquering other places and reuniting other areas of humanity that... Okay, so I've basically missed a big chunk there. So other areas of humanity back in those techno-barbarian wars obviously shot off into space, I think, and then created their own colonies. And it's basically about using the Space Marines to then reunite those colonies throughout the galaxy. And that's kind of where I think... the Horus Heresy begins in the books. I think that's book 1. So he's found...
That's a big book. That's a big all over the place.
It's the best book. I think it's the best book. I keep going back to those 3 books.
I mean, if it's anything like you're telling it, it's like all over the place.
It's all over the shop. You got everything in there. You got coins. You got little priesthoods and like covens, secret covens, and demons, and yeah, there's a lot going on.
So it's the Catholic Church.
It's the Catholic Church. Yes, it is. There's just no paedophilia in Horus Heresy books that I've read.
Do we know of?
That I've read anyway. But then this recounting may not be accurate, as we know. Anyway, so
you've missed off the whole like Men of Iron.
I have missed off that.
The Age of Strife
wasn't important. Obviously.
No.
We'll bring that back for another version. We're just going it straight out of the mind here. This is coming straight out of the.
This is stream of consciousness.
Just a stream, and I'm trying to fit it in within a very small amount of time. So anyway, that's when the Horus Heresy begins, and basically you have all of the Space Marine legions have gone out to conquer, and then some of them have found their Primarchs, some of them have been reunited with their Primarchs. And it becomes like this whole saga, and it's a really, really good series of books, and really highly recommend reading it. Definitely the first 3, and then you basically pick and choose what you want to read. So I kind of really liked the Fulgrim books, and I did some of the Alpha Legion ones as well, but I kind of skipped all of the Mechanicum ones because they're quite boring. So those ones got like downloaded and then listened to an hour, and I was like, nah, this isn't it. So I didn't buy those ones, and I bought the audio versions. So basically, Horus Heresy happens. The Emperor's been hiding about this force called Chaos, and he's been trying to keep that hidden from all of his Primarchs because he doesn't want them to like basically talk about it or question it. But apparently Chaos was what basically sowed them out into the Ever. Anyway, Chaos is like this malevolent entity, other subspace, the warp. It's basically kind of like the big bad of 40k. I don't know how we'd describe it in like another fandom kind of world. What would you say is like another? What's like Chaos in like the Dark Zone, the Nether Zone? Like maybe in Stranger Things, it would be like the flip world.
I mean, I guess you could say like the Eclipse and Berserk if you've read that.
Oh, I've seen that.
All the demons come
out. Yeah. So it's just a bad place where like people's depraved imaginations become reality, and it feeds off like all the negative energies. And there's gods that are being generated within Chaos, and they each have their own pantheons. And basically, the Horus Heresy kind of all kicks off when I think one of the main characters called Logan, right?
Logan Sama, yeah.
Yeah, Logan Sama. It's Logan. What's his face? What's his name?
Who are you talking about?
Logan Grimnar or something.
No, it's not Logan, is it? Who am I talking about? Who's the big bad boy from
Abaddon?
No, the good guy.
From what?
The good guy from that one. Not
the
Torgadon.
Good guy from the Thing.
Not Torgadon. The good one. Out of the
Sigismund?
Emperor's Sons of Horus. Who's the good one from the Sons of Horus?
Carville Loken.
That one. Loken, not Logan. So Loken. Loken is like key character in this. He's like the one you kind of see the story through his eyes, and basically they go on this world, they see like some weird demonic shit, and it starts getting the story going down that trajectory. They then basically end up going to this planet, which is like another human. I think maybe it's not human. I think it might be human. It might be aliens. But anyway, they go there and they're talking about Chaos, and they're like, "You guys don't know about Chaos," and they go crazy because this planet like has been battling Chaos, or has like come up with ways to defend it, and it just realizes.
Are you talking about the intersex? What are they called?
Not that, because that sounds dodgy, but something like that.
They have like centaur people.
Yes, and they like know about Chaos, and they find it incredibly dangerous.
It's not a problem, bro. We just kill them.
Yeah, but humanity and Space Marines obviously haven't ever heard of it. They don't know how to battle it and how to defend themselves. So basically, I don't know how much I want to go into like the details, but they kind of steal a knife from there that can kill Horus, one of the Primarchs, stab him. He ends up turning to chaos, and that's kind of where you get the heresy. And basically, half the Primarchs split, and some of them go good, some of them go bad, some stay with the Emperor, some stay with Horus, and all those guys tend to degenerate, and like they side off with a few of the gods. So you have like the god of rot, the decay, and then you have the god of like pleasure, and they all kind of align with what fits their traits best. Then there's like the Isfahan massacre, which was basically like the bad Astartes kind of like tricked the good Astartes into going to this world and then basically nuke the shit out of them and end up wiping them. That's like one of my favourite books, that one. I absolutely love that book. It's a great book. And then I'm going to fast forward the story and I'm going to skip
Morgan, which Isfahan was it?
one of them. I know there's two, isn't there? Isfahan 6? No, it's like V.
Oh my God.
It's like V. V3.
5 and 3.
5 and 3. It's 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Isfahan 9.
No.
5 and 3.
Yes.
It's Roman numerals, isn't it?
They're the 2, bro. 5 and 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading that as Roman numerals in my head.
That's
so
right.
5 and 3.
This is going about as well as I thought it would. I love it.
I'm having
It's
a great
watching
time.
Lord.
My energy is
sure you
starting
are.
my energy's starting to run low. I'm not gonna lie. Basically, I'm gonna fast forward now. So there's loads of books in between.
So
Some
just
have
to
some good-
clarify, just so you know as well, Morgan, for future reference, Isfahan 3 is where the traitor legions killed their own guys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when they fully committed to the heresy. And you had...
They
you
killed
know,
the loyalist of.
They killed the
traitor
lawless
legions.
within their ranks. So
Yeah,
you had
because
those
not everyone went
awesome
bad in their
stories
ranks,
of
right?
like ancient Rylanor in the
Yeah.
Emperor and all that. Yeah, all the cool
Lad.
stories there. And then Isfahan 5 is where even more legions turned on each other.
That was the virus bombing of like the salamanders.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Ravengard as
drops
well.
of
Ravengard.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
What was that good guy from The Emperor's Children who I really liked? Tavitz.
Logan.
Saul Tarvitz. He was a Donny. He was a good guy with the long white hair. I mean, most of them long white hair, to be fair, innit?
I was going to say that's
their,
could be Fulgrim.
that's their take. So anyway, I'm going to skip forward a bit here, and basically, the Horus Heresy like goes on, like they're conquering worlds, the Loyalists are losing worlds, and basically the fight ends up getting all the way back to Earth, which is Terra, and Horus then besieges the planet with a massive fleet outside, and that's kind of where the second part of the books take place. And it's all about sort of the siege of the main capital city on Terra. I'm really forgetting all of my names here, so I'll apologise in advance, but I'm going to flash them up on the screen anyway. And that's a really that's a really good book series. It ends up with Angron, which is the World Eaters Primarch, who's fully demonified at that point, basically having a huge fight with Sanguinius on the Sanguinius at the gate, and it's a really awesome. That's a great book, and the artwork's fantastic. Yeah. And then basically, I think that kind of brings us. Is that like 30? Is that 32k? Am I like 32k now?
I'm wrong there, sorry.
What am I missing then?
I mean, you're missing a lot.
No, but what am I missing? I know then when it all messes up, I know the Emperor basically so you have the huge fight with the Emperor and Horus Heresy on his ship, on his ship, and Sanguinius dies.
Horus on the ship Heresy.
Yeah, on the ship Heresy, and the Emperor gets massively wounded. There's also a human called Alanius Pius who kind of like somehow flits in the whole thing, but is meant to be really important, but doesn't kind of make to be that important in the books. It's a bit of an odd one with that. It kind of feels like a bit like shoved in. Then basically the traitor fleet leaves and goes to the Eye of Terror, which is like a segment of the galaxy where like chaos is kind of unleashed. They go and lick their wounds over there, and the Imperium kind of goes into this sort of like dark age, like suspicious age, and that's kind of where we get to at the start of 40k, I think. And now,
You went from 32k to
and now,
40k, so I mean...
and now in 40k, we've basically... Oh, nah, this is where I'm gonna unravel, because I kind of left the hobby around this point.
Are we sidestepping the Badab War?
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to let you talk about that one now, mate, because you know so much about that. I feel like it would really benefit.
I've done my part.
I feel like it would really benefit the episode if you chimed in about that.
Are you trying to just go off and do your research?
No, I'll eat my chicken more like it, but
Well,
no.
technically, the Badab War is like nowish because it was in the 41st, 40s. I don't even know when we are in the.
I feel like we're in 42.
I don't know where we are in the official timeline, but I always thought that the Badab War is in like M41. And that was...
Yeah, it's like part of the stuff that like bridges over from 30k to 40k.
So the
like,
Astral
when's
Clause
War of the
is...
Beasts?
The Astral Clause is Luft Huron's chapter. He was a chapter master. And they basically broke away.
What did they broke away over again? Wasn't it like something like they weren't allowed to govern worlds, or it was something like... I can't... Like, it's generally with Space Marines, it's either something like you can't govern worlds or they're not getting the recruitments that they want to get. That's generally what it comes down to, because they're always trying to fill their numbers and they're only allowed a certain, I think they're only allowed a certain per quota or something. I'll have to check that, but that's generally what sets them off.
So Codex of Dice, mate.
I can keep going, but there's not much left in the tank now.
I kind of want you to.
You kind of want me to.
I want to see the wheels come off.
Do you want to see I think they came off. I think they came off after the first 5 minutes. To be fair,
honestly, you started the car, and it just flipped.
It flipped.
Set on fire.
Okay. Okay. Right now, my mind is saying like the Black Crusades and Cadia, which we've discussed already.
Are we doing all 13 of them? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna skip to the end. To be fair, I don't even think there's a lot on the middle ones. I don't think they ever talk them about. I think you get like the first one, the 12th, and then the 13th, and everything else is just like maybe like the smallest passage in a book.
It's the first Black Crusade when he goes and gets the Horus's claw back. I believe so.
I do not know enough to fact check you on that.
He ripped it off of him. He ripped it off of him.
What, dead him, or he was of his corpse?
Or is it? Is the first Black Crusade when he gets Drachnien? I think that's when I can't remember.
The demon sword.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we get to the Black Crusades. Cadia gets destroyed.
Cadia falls,
and then we get basically. Now this is really. I apologise in advance for this, because this is me joining the hobby around this time after a long gap, and from what I get. An elder lady from the Elder, and
wait,
she has...
Are you saying an elder, like an old lady from the Eldar?
No, like a lady from the Eldar.
Okay, an Eldar.
Yeah.
An Eldari woman.
I feel like I pronounce her name Yevrin, but I don't think that's right. Yevrin.
Yeah, like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Logan's
that
the kind of guy
French.
to go to Spain and go. When he comes back, he's like, I went to Barcelona.
Paella.
I did a set in Barcelona.
See, I've already forgotten how Logan said that as well. Yevrain. Basically,
not even, most of these names come from like Celtic languages, don't they, for the Eldari? So
you're asking too much of Morgan.
I just find stuff like that really difficult to read. Okay, I'm just going to lay that out now. When I see stuff, I like I've always said skirmish, I have never said skirmish, but I've always said it as Skiermarsh.
Skiermarsh.
Because I read it that time.
I was wondering what name, what character is this?
I think because I just read it in like, it was in like Age of Empires, and it was like Skiermarshes, because skirmishers just didn't connect right in my brain. So
Where's the A?
It's an IE. That's what I've added in. But anyway, Yvraine, or whatever, the elder lady,
IE.
she kind of decides that Rabute, the Ultramarines Primarch,
sexy.
is kind of like in a stasis, like Snow White in a little glass container, and she's decided that she wants to bring him back by healing him in some way. She goes over there. I think she gets the Emperor's sword and gives him the Emperor's sword, and then he comes back alive and basically decides to like redo the Imperium and bring it back to the days of glory. But also he's quite smart, so he kind of tries and gets rid of all the religious nomenclature that's around. Big word as well. I was impressed that I got that one out. Also behind the scenes, Arkenland, who is no, wrong one. Belarius Krull, who is a big old tech dude, has been secretly making super new Space Marines, rolls them out, and Rabute then goes on a big crusade again to unite everyone. And then recently we've had the Lion come back, and we've had Angron come back, and we've had a few other Primarchs, and that leads us to today. And there you go.
You have literally skipped.
I've done it. I've done it, and I've done it in.
And that is everything you need to know.
That's everything you need to know about 40k in layman's terms. Within, I haven't got a timer, so I can't tell you.
That's still
how
under
long
20 minutes, I think. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
I do want to say, actually, by the way, that the first Black Crusade is absolutely the coolest one because it had the Sigismund and Abaddon duel, which is
that's dope. Yeah,
fucking boss. By the way,
which book is that?
That is the first Talon of Horus book. The first, which one is it? God damn it!
I want to add that to my
first
list.
Book by Aaron Dembski-Bowden.
Did you read the basically the creation of Black Templars in the latest Fall of the Golden Palace books, Fall of the Wall books?
The creation of the Black Templars.
It kind of like when Sigismund kind of goes Black Knight mode in the books. In the new books, you get like that story. Like I can feel Lawrence is getting annoyed every second. I know.
I just want to go through.
I know the bit skipped. Where Rogel Dawn censures him. That's in an earlier book. That's in a much earlier book.
No, basically he kind of like he goes through the streets of like broken.
That effectively creates the Black Templars because that censorship and abandonment by Rogel Dawn causes Sigismund to continually crusade for his father's love that he will never get again.
Which book's that in? 'Cause that might be retconned.
No. That's in the Horus Heresy. I know that in the Siege of Terror books you get him like running around with the Sword Brethren just carving up guys like because he's just fighting out and about like a ragtag.
He basically does like guerrilla warfare in the Siege of Terror book and basically brings in a load of like humans and like I think he might even bring in like different like Black Shield or no Grey Shield Marines and stuff like that, and they all just go around the town like just wiping out chaos as they go. Yeah, it's a really cool bit. It's like to be fair.
Caravan of whatever it is.
Caravan of righteousness, righteous fury.
Yeah. Caravan of courage, some may say.
I just want to highlight some things that you've just completely missed.
Okay, is this the appendix?
I don't even know what this is anymore.
Okay, I'm going to lose points. I'm going to lose points for every one that I've missed. So I reckon I'm on about 89 points right now. So go on. What can you take me down?
So I could start from the very beginning of the 40k timeline if you want. Where you've got.
Just remember you've got 21 minutes.
Okay, Birth of the Star Gods, Old Ones, Necrontyr, and
Frogmen.
their entire Frogmen. The
Fall of
War
the
in Heaven,
Eldari.
which is like one of the biggest things that's happened in 40k.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll ever come out? Do you think they'll ever do anything about that? Do you think we'll get like a Horus Heresy?
No.
Yeah.
No. Biotransference.
Yeah.
And the rise of the Necrons.
Necrons becoming robots.
Enslaver Plague. The Enslavers.
Yep.
Silent King's Betrayal. Great Sleep. That's all kind of the same thing, I'd say. Age of Terror and the Stellar Exodus. You got that.
Yep.
Age of Technology. You ignored that.
Skip that.
Age of Strife. Old Night. You ignored that.
Yep, skip that.
Which is literally...
Sorry.
You just said, it's some experiments with nukes. Not like, AI taking over the entire galaxy and basically killing people and then...
It's very. Do we say it was June?
Butlerian
It kind of
Jihad.
got ripped out from June.
It's just Dune, yeah.
Yeah.
Fall of the Eldari, massive thing. One of the Chaos Gods was spawned from them just fucking into existence.
Yeah, it's quite a big thing, that.
Pretty big.
Pretty big.
Great Crusade. You kind of
got all of that.
You called it like
Good
Gold
night,
Crusade or
Gold Crusade.
Like
Big Crusade.
something else. Big Crusade. So I'll give you like half a point for that.
Thank
Horus
you.
Heresy. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the only thing you got.
Yeah, got the name right.
The Scouring. You ignored that.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
literally
the Scouring.
end
That
of
was
the
when
Horus
they.
Heresy.
What was the Scouring? That's when they went and took out. Was that the good guys going to take out the bad guys, or the bad guys going to take the good guys out?
No, the
That
good guys
is
were like,
the-
fuck this, we're gonna go get 'em.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Imperium kind of like cleaning house after defeating Horus.
Nice.
And it's when like Korax and
I don't think there's a lot
Chasing,
of books.
chasing
I don't think there's a lot of
the
books on that.
traitor legions to the Eye of Terror. That's why they ended up
Yeah.
in the Eye of Terror, because they got chased out of the galaxy.
Yeah, I think the new book that's coming out like kind of deals with all that post.
that's
Yeah.
the Scouring, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a really interesting timeline to sort of go through that, because it's really untapped. So yeah,
I'm not even halfway through the things you've missed, by the way.
There's another series that they just started as well. Well, not just started. They've been doing it for a few years, but it's like set when they're fighting the orcs. I think is the first
is
book
it?
in it. But
I think Lawrence mentioned it earlier. It's the Beast. Is it the Beast?
yes,
War of
Yeah.
the Beast.
Yeah.
Wait,
Some
are they
Uber
redoing
Bowl.
the War of the Beast? That's like...
it's like a few thousand years afterwards, isn't it? Yeah, 32nd millennium. They did books of that.
yeah.
I kind of feel like that's
I'm
like
getting
non-comedy
to that,
orcs.
right?
I feel like it's non-comedy
getting to
orcs.
The Beast Arises. There you go.
More things you've missed.
Yep.
The Age of Apostasy,
Yep.
which is where like the High Lords of Terror and the Ecclesiarchy basically
Political,
have a
not
civil war
important.
for like 900 years. It's like a 40th of the whole
The founding
law.
of government. Yeah, the founding of how it all works.
Yes.
Quite important.
War of the Beast was 10 years ago. We're all getting really
Emergence of the Tau
What,
Empire.
2010?
old. 2015, bro. 10 years ago.
Damn.
You missed the Tyrannic Wars. All three of them.
Yeah, they are my favourite wars
four
as
of
well. They are some of my
Certainly
favourite
not
wars.
important to anybody that matters.
I'm going to argue that
Lamentus
one because
man.
you get some really cool models out of that, and I've got all the metal models for those boys. Tyrannic War veterans are dope. Let's just put it out there.
Nat.
Yeah, I kind of missed a lot of Ultramarine lore on that, and that's a real. I'm gonna. The Ultramarine boys are gonna come for me.
You got
It's fine,
Guilliman
though.
in there, so...
Yeah, I did get Goodman in. No other Primarch really, but Goody Boy got some mentions. Where else are we at?
You missed Psychic Awakening.
That was not important. I wasn't going to include that. That was terrible.
Indomitus Crusade.
That was good. That was good. That was a good one.
Devastation of Baal.
Not good for Blood Angels, but good for the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War of the Beast, like we talked about. You missed the whole War of the Beast.
You didn't even talk about the clones of Horus. Either.
That was. I didn't want to get parochial with it.
That was part of the... Oh, yeah, some stuff happened in the Horus Heresy. and
Yeah,
then,
that was included.
it
That
ended,
was a
and then
buffer.
Gilman came back. Yeah. He gave himself that kind of 3,000 years of kind of like, some stuff
Yeah.
happened.
Included in small print.
Yeah, so I think you've got about 2%, right?
2%. Well, I think that I'd love to redo this and let you do it. It's very easy to sit at a point of criticizing when you come up with the idea for the show.
Hey, you're the one who painted a target on your back and
I
walked in
did.
here
I did indeed.
and was like, "Come at me, bro."
I, for one, think it was a noble effort.
Has anyone ever done it? I bet they have. I bet there's bare videos out there. People.
No, they're sensible and they split it down into multiple videos and they make whole channels about it, don't they?
Okay.
So
yeah. Sorry guys, we tried not to milk this too much. We tried to just give it to you hard and fast, packed it in.
Yeah, we respect your time. That's why we made this.
So we waffled on I waffled on for a long time.
I can't wait for the title of this to be The Definitive Warhammer 40,000
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Asterisk at the end. According to Morgan. Yeah. Forget every other race and every other just blue ultramarines. That's all I focused on.
I mean, I have to say I do love wasting entire days on lexicanum.com.
So easy to do. Do you know what one of my favourite ones on that one is? It's when you start getting into like the Terminator armour and you're like, oh my god, there's fucking like 6 patterns of Terminator armour. I'm gonna like a whole page on each one. That sends me to sleep, that does. Good one of those.
What's your favourite pattern of Terminator armour?
It's a real tricky one, that. I think it has to be between. I'm gonna always go with like the OG kind of like. I think it was called like Indomitus armor, actually.
The generic one, yeah, that's Indomitus.
Yeah, I think it's called Indomitus. Yeah, so that one is my favourite because I love the panda faces, but I also really love the huge motherfucking pauldron ones.
Saturnine.
The big shoulder pads.
Saturnine armor.
Yeah, I think it is Saturnine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is Saturnine, and they haven't got like any new models for those yet. They've got everything else, I think.
Isn't there a rumor that they're like coming back though?
I mean,
yes, there's a rumor that they're going to be in the next edition Horus Heresy box.
That'd be sick.
Oh, right, okay, that makes sense.
Sick.
So I thought they were going to 40k, so that's crazy.
There's a really nice animation that was done that has like 2 seconds of those Saturnine Terminators in. It was one before all the other animation studios got bought out, and it was based on the Horus Heresy. I can't remember the name of it though. It was just like a Horus Heresy animation, and it had some like the combat in it was sick, man. Like the way the Space Marines were moving were like split fast, just like how it does in Astartes. I don't know. I'll see if I can find a link and I'll send it to you guys if you haven't seen it already. But it wasn't finished completely, but some of the scenes in it were just sick, really, really sick. So yes, those are my 2 favourite Terminator armors. How about you boys?
Mine's the XV8.
Which Space Marine one is that? How do you fit in that?
That's the best part. You can get out of it.
Oh, you can get out of it, but it doesn't have a power fist, does it?
Yeah, it does.
No melee
Onaga Gauntlet
at all.
Onaga
Don't know
Gauntlet.
no idea what an Onaga Gauntlet is. Doesn't exist. Sorry.
We got fusion blades back.
Yeah, they shoot. They shoot.
For some reason, they shoot.
They shoot.
How does that
Those
work?
fusion blades that don't have a melee profile, they shoot.
It's the dumbest thing. They could have named it anything else. Everyone got so hyped for having fusion blades back because I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna just get so many of these guys, run at people with like laser swords, and then it's like, oh, it's just a melter.
They successfully rickrolled you, thinking that you
they did.
Is it a typo?
Terrible.
Is it a typo?
No,
they just edged.
Why would you have a blade that would shoot without a melee profile?
it's alien tech.
don't know.
Bro. It's not for your monkey.
Unquestionable.
Not my layman mind.
Yes.
It's too high advanced, man.
I was always a big fan of the Cataphracti. When they brought that out, I was super excited. That era of like Forge World, when they started just going back and doing the Heresy era armor marks, was super cool.
The
I've still
Cataphractii
got
are the
all
one with the
my
eclipse, right?
I've still got all my Mark IV Red Scorpion Forge World stuff.
Mate, rare bits nowadays.
Yeah,
Go for a pretty penny, that.
I've cut them all up into little pieces probably, but yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
What do you call them? Lawrence will know this one. Actually, Logan, you might know this one. Cataphractii, the leather bits on the shoulders. It's a Roman thing. Per test. It's like,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
P-T-E-R-U-G-E-S.
Flexible armor.
Yeah. Fancy belts.
Yeah, really iconic look that. Awesome. Well, look, that was my kind of rundown, boys. What have you been up to this week?
I got a tournament this weekend.
Street Fighter.
Yeah. No.
What are you playing?
Little 3-rounder in St Albans.
40k?
plus. Yeah, 40k.
Come on, bro. You better win this for us.
Of course I'm not going to win.
Come on, win it for us.
I'm learning how to play.
Okay. Is there anything you're looking forward to running against, or anything you're not looking forward to running against after what you played
anything
last time?
other than Mordaka. I don't want to play against Mordaka.
Okay.
No one wants to play against Mordaka. I know we're not really a super competitive focused podcast, but this past week when we were recording this, there was a tournament on the South Coast, which was the next of the UKTC events, the South Coast GT. The top 3 placings in that were Ben Jones, Manny Chima, Brian Sipe, all 3 of them, all playing Orcs, Mordaka. Rocky Mountain Open over there in America, FLG tournament. Guess what the top 3 placed detachments were over there? So,
let me guess. Daka.
Daka, and Daka. More
to
Daka.
To the undakafied, what is that list that's so good about it?
Dakafied.
How do I explain how fucked this is? Right.
Is it just like millions of orcs?
Basically,
you just can't get anywhere because they're just orcs everywhere.
Orc shooting is really
No, it's
cheap.
the same amount of orcs.
Orc shooting is really cheap because it's really inaccurate, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all hitting on 5s and 6s. Well, what if you had a rule that meant that when you hit on a 6, you got an extra 2 hits? So every 60 roll was 3 hits.
Yeah. It's ludicrous.
How about if you also had lethal hits? So when you roll a 6, you automatically wound for one of those. How about if you could also advance and shoot, so you can move really far out of your trucks? How about if also you had +1 AP and ignore cover? So me throwing this bucket of orc shooting dice at you suddenly turns into 50% more hits than dice I've rolled, and it becomes like plasma gun level of lethal for each hit.
Damn.
It's so goofy.
And also, by the way, you can't charge me into melee to stop it because I have a screen of 20 Gretchen in front of me, move blocking you, that are all -1 to wound because of Zodgrod, who leads them, and they can scout forward and move super far and just pin you in your deployment zone whilst I run.
Okay, so I can't see this lasting
stupid.
very long.
No, it ain't going to last more than 2 weeks. They'll patch it. It was a free detachment that they gave out in the last balance slate.
So, for people who think that GW has like favoritism, you're right, because Orcs got that and Tau got Borkan back.
Shoot your blades though.
With fake swords, yeah.
Well, I love the idea that you think that is intentional and they know what they were doing. That's my favourite thing. It's like when people say, "Oh yeah, they just make all the new stuff really good to sell models." The idea that the idea that they have that level of competence when it comes to rules writing is delightfully naive. It's completely random, and sometimes you roll a natural 20 on that D20 and you just max out all your stats and a detachment drops that's completely and absolutely fucked. And Mordaka is one of those. But I'm going to have lots of fun anyway. I'm not.
You're not doing Mordaka, are you?
No, I'm just taking my world eaters. I want to learn how to play the game and understand how it all works and kind of get back into the competitive mindset. There's gonna be a new edition like next summer, so I'll get like a year run of playing the game anyway. Which
I haven't played
which isn't really that
one
long.
single game of this edition.
Do you know what we should do? You know
two codexes.
You know what we should do, Lawrence? We should try and do that online game simulator and do that one.
Yeah, tabletop simulator.
Yeah, and just give it a go.
We should do that.
Yeah, because you can do it on your computer, right? It's not like bad on the graphics or anything.
No.
And then I can see your fake swords firing at me, which would be fun.
I'll come in and referee it so that you get all the rules right.
That could be a good episode.
We should do a stream of like tabletop simulator.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out how we can make this stream not 4 hours though. The highlights.
Oh, it will be. It just will be.
The highlights.
What you do,
So
it'll be like 3 hours of us.
It's a multi-tiered media strategy of a 4-hour long form live broadcast, a 20-minute edited down version, and then 30-second clips. You know what I mean? Got to roll out the content.
It's Adepticon coming up. Is that tomorrow or weekend?
Wednesday night, Thursday morning. It's actually it's technically going to be on Wednesday in the US. Yeah.
Okay. Anything? I know they're not doing any horror heresy drops this time. That's what they've said. They wrote that officially. They're like, yeah, nothing this time.
Sigmar, Old World, Kill Team is what
Old World. I'm really looking forward to getting into that.
I'm hoping I get to see my my new World Eaters character that I know is coming.
Yeah. What do you think he is?
Have they done any teasers yet?
No. I'm assuming it's going to be a butcher surgeon, so that'll be fun to see. And there should be.
Don't you have like a really bad old character of that? Isn't it got like a the rib cage showing and a butcher's cleaver? Haven't I seen one of those before? Or is that a different model?
Sounds like a Master of Executions.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, already got one of those. So I'm expecting that we'll get. We already know the Lord of Poxes is coming out for the Death Guard, and
I mean that was leaked ages ago, right?
Yeah, they accidentally sent it out to somebody.
Oh yeah, that one, that old trick.
Yeah, they accidentally posted it out to somebody from mail order. And the rumor is that the Thousand Sons are getting some new battle robots, so that'd be
nice. Nice. Hopefully they'll put those in the Space Marine too.
Chaos Knights, and we've got a ton of stuff that was already on the roadmap, wasn't it? Which was Grey Knights, Black Templars.
Oh my God, yeah, Grey Knights. Oh, please show me something. Just
Grey Knights,
Terminator.
Black Templars.
Just give me a paladin.
There was a picture of salamanders, wasn't there?
Don't care about that.
Oh yeah.
Give me
and then there was a
damn
teaser of Space Wolves, so I'm not expecting we're going to see anything to do with that. But I think we'll probably see all the chaosy stuff at Adepticon. That's all
I hope they wouldn't, because I swear we've had like chaos stuff quite recently. We've just had the Slanesh guys come back. I feel like we need a bit of. They've
had a
really
whole
greedy.
Army, so
yeah, it's really greedy asking for more lore Space Marines, but I'm never gonna not request that.
Well, you're gonna get a whole. It's either a campaign pack or a second Space Marine Codex, because there's tons of rumors of them redoing a load of Space Marine characters and making some new Space Marine characters as well for the generic chapters.
Oh yeah, there's loads of. I saw those Space
I don't know
Wolf
if Ultramarines
rumors,
are getting a character. They might do. You might.
Ultramarines have a lot of characters, though. To be fair,
you might get Kato Sikaris done.
That'd be sick.
Again.
That'd be sick.
It's mostly going to be for all the old resin characters getting redone. So Vulcan Histan. Oh my God, what's his name? The Imperial Fists Terminator guy. Whose name?
Cantor? No, not Cantor.
Not Pedro Cantor.
I know who you're thinking of. The one with the big shield.
My brain has gone blank.
The big shield guy and the hammer.
Storm Shield, Hammer.
Yeah.
First company captain.
Can you think of it?
Guys,
Lysander.
Lysander, yeah.
Well done. Lysander, Hestan. There's going to be new characters for Raven Guard, White Scars,
Nice.
and
I've heard that about Raven Guard. That sounds cool.
Yeah, nice.
Iron Hands.
Nice.
There's a really cool rumor, actually, if you're interested about the Raven Guard character, is that he might be a 30k character.
Cool.
Oh yeah, it's
So that's quite-
what's his name of the two swords,
I've seen that guy, and he's
Shuriken.
talking about. Oh yeah, he's
Shuriken,
dope.
yeah, that'd be
He's dope.
so cool.
I hope they're doing well, because he's like really key in the story. He's like a really cool character.
But I'm genuinely not expecting to see any of that. I keep my expectations really low, so I'm thinking I'm going to see the World Eaters character. I'm going to see like a Death Guard announcement just for boxes and whatever. Thousand Suns and some new Chaos Knight stuff, and that's going to be it. And then I'll move on because that's what's coming out in the next couple of months. And they don't really show you stuff past that, do they? So.
No. They've got to keep. The thing is with the GW, they know you can just trickle it out, and most people have stuff left on their list to buy anyway.
Though, because there's a kill team announcement as well, so it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, and people were saying that kill team's going to be Catachans versus Nids. That's what I've heard.
That'd be dope.
So I did hear that they redid I did hear that they redid all of the plastics, and they've all been done. So.
That would be amazing.
They've been doing that really slowly for ages,
so
right?
Ugly.
They've got like
the characters, so they've already built them what their proportions should be like.
From the limited edition characters.
There's two of them. Yeah. There's two of them.
I think there's 3 now, isn't there?
I don't know what the third one is. There's the girl. The guy looks like not Dutch.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
And I swear there's a third one.
Maybe.
But maybe I'm just imagining it.
Dutch was Arnie in that, by the way.
Who?
Dutch was Arnie.
Yeah.
No, that's why I said it wasn't him. But I can't remember what Carl Weathers' character was.
It's Carl Weathers, mate.
Nah, because I swear they all had little code words, didn't they? Little code names.
You
they love a code
son of a
name.
bitch.
Like T-Rex and Shadow.
The hedgehog.
Yeah, big blade. Catachans would be lovely to see.
Dylan.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I would love to see characters for like the Raven Guard and stuff like that, but I get a little bit irky when they release like one character for a chapter because I just always kind of feel like, oh, here we go. It's going to be 3 years until we see something else again. So I'd like to see but I got like this through Psychic Awakening and like when they redo the recent run of like redoing codexes and you'll get like they'll bring out one hero to align with the codex.
Yeah.
I'm like, just give us like a command squad and a hero that then we can like mix and match the bits on.
You know what I'd really like them to
something.
do actually that they used to do is like, especially now because the way that the box sets come out now, the units, the miniature kits are designed now. They're just like way harder to do as multi-pose.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Just do like an alternate sculpt or like an expansion pack or something.
Yeah.
Because
I was literally about to say like what would be cool is like because obviously they did it with the Cadians before they got a refresh where you got the
extra
upgrade sprue.
Yeah. Just another one of those.
So upgrade sprues
give me more,
are great,
like,
I think.
Yeah.
I don't
But
need
what
a
if they
whole new
did?
unit because I feel like they kind of shoehorn in like. And this was one of the problems with Space Wolves, right? They're like, okay, we've done Blood Claws now, we've done Grey Hunters, we've got kits for all of them now. What have we got? Oh, we need to think of something new. Let's just stick them riding wolves, and then you end up with just like shit unit designs, just because they're like, we have to do something. Okay,
Yeah.
Just like do a alternate sculpt of some of the units. Like we used to do that. You'd like the blister pack. You'd have 1 and 2 or whatever, and you have your alternate sculpts.
I was going to say that.
What I would
massively. I'd definitely just rebuy units and paint them up as like new, interesting sculpts. Buy them for parts, whatever. Like just sell them as 5
I would really
mans,
like it
whatever's.
if they brought out Shuriken and like reworked the
snipers.
Infiltrators, yeah. Like you could, even if you just gave them different like heads or like, because those kits are like the really awful ones. Yeah, because the way they're built is like it's literally back half, front half glued together. Like it's really hard.
They're great though because the arms.
Are you talking about the 40k ones?
Yeah,
you are.
Sorry. And incursors are
sorry,
great.
Yeah.
They're
I'm talking about the snipers.
Yeah, I'm thinking
the
of
Eliminators.
I'm thinking
Eliminators.
I'm thinking of 30k ones because it's that really famous artwork. I don't even know if it's an official artwork. It might have come from like a card.
The ones with the guy's
The
got
spotter,
rifle
the
and
guy
he's
with the
got, like,
spotter.
next to him.
Yeah, that's so
cool.
sick. That's so cool.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I
That's why
know.
I'm spending so much time kit
I know.
bashing my guys, because I'm like, I don't want like the big bulky like.
That's what I think is a really big problem with like even the new Horus Heresy figures though, like the Raven Guard. Like I know they've just done a character for him, and he's like really chunky, and you're like, you could just switch that out for an Iron Hands guy like straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But then I guess like.
But that's the cool thing about Raven. They to be fair, they had amended the law, so like their armor has all these like noise suppressors in and stuff, and it's like it makes no sense that a Space Marine of this size is that quiet, and you're like really taken aback by it. I think that's kind of cool, and they have kind of like MacGuffined it pretty well where they get round that. But I definitely would love to see some more upgrade kits with a bit more depth and a bit more like focus, because my one problem with the Blood Angels upgrade kit, and that really disappointed me, to go from like dedicated Death Company box and an upgrade kit to you
paint on a red cross.
You just get an upgrade kit and that's your Death Company as well as your Tactical Marines and whatever. But I really liked what they did with, the Kill Team bolt-ons that they did for. First off, they did them for the Phobos Marines, but they did them for the
those
Night
are cool.
Lords.
Those are very cool.
Yeah.
And like that makes them look amazing. So I'm up for that. I'm definitely like up for more of those.
It's all about making your army unique, right? Like having and I really like that about the Kill Team when they drop Kill Team boxes that fit with your army, because you're like, I can weave those models into any of my units, and it's going to spread them out a little bit better, which is really nice.
I've got like 3 boxes worth of Chalnath Pathfinders, just because they look so much better. Like you've got scopes in there, you've got different helmets, you've got different weapons, you've got everything. It is probably the best like upgrade sprue I've ever seen. They don't even have
to actually serve a purpose in game. They can literally be purely cosmetic. I'm down for that. Like, just give me ways to make my shit look cool. Give me ways to make my shit look cool and put my personal stamp on it, and I'll buy those. I'll buy upgrade kits. I'll buy alternate sculpts. All of that. And I would love if they, rather than just trying to shoehorn in another character or a new unit that kind of makes no sense. Dude, I'll just buy an alternate sculpt happily. If you want me to rebuy my shit, I'll do it. But
because I would love I'd even take a Phobos upgrade sprue that's just for like Raven Guard or something like that. Like
That'd
things
be nice.
like, I don't know, like a stealth cloak that you can add on to like a infiltrator or something.
I just don't get the hesitation of bringing them out, because it's just, I literally think it's just free money. Like, it's so, like, I know if it was for maybe not for, I don't know, with Ultramarines, I don't do Primaris Ultramarines, but if it was like, if I was Raven Guarding and like your kit, for instance, came out with like 3 sniper guns and then like 3 legs, like 1 running, 1 jumping, like I
thought you meant they had 3 legs.
No, I think that's what you need to make the kits. They need to have like legs, guns, heads, and to get the full variance. Like having a few heads and a different arms doesn't cut it. It's just I get that a lot with stuff nowadays. I'm like, I know when you bring this out, and it's the same with games and movies. You're like, I know you've brought this out and it's crap, and now I know I'm gonna have to wait like fucking 5 years for everyone to forget about it till you actually redo it again.
I just got Sanguinary Guard redone, and I'm like, oh no, this kit sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be stuck with this kit for 10 years.
10 years, bro.
This is not getting redone. These 3 monopose shitters are not getting redone. And I'm
3D printer go brrr.
I'm still yet to see 3D printed minis that look as good as the stuff that I can buy from Games Workshop. Like, objectively, the proportions are always off. The finish is grainy. Like, I'm still waiting.
I think we could very help you with that area. Logan. I've got some very good ones, but I agree. Like, you basically, what you want is GW stuff reposed or just GW stuff. Like, but we don't.
And that's why I'll take like alternate. What you're looking for is alternate sculpts, basically, because you're like, I don't want arms and heads and little pouches and shoulder pads. I want legs.
Yeah.
I want movement. I want a different.
That's
pose,
the worst thing about
GW
sprues, right? You get 10 legs, 10 torsos, 50 arms. They're all essentially the same thing. And it's like, what am I going to do with these arms afterwards? Yeah.
Well, I've got in my current World Eaters list, I've got 18. Hang on, wait. I've got 18 8-bound and exalted 8-bound across. It's all the same kit. So there's, 6 multiples of the same 3-man kit in my army. And the only thing that you can change is the head between exalted and normal 8-bound. That's the only thing that's different. And the arms. Now, thankfully, the arms and the backpacks are all interchangeable on every one. But even then, I still I've got the same legs, I've got the same torso, same chest plate, same poses. And at the moment, I'm just trying to get my army so I can turn up and play it. But if I had to look at these guys on display on my shelf, and I've got 18 guys with only 3 body variations, that's going to look whack. And it's going to be the same when I get around to doing my Sanguinary Guard, when I've got 3 body variations. And even then, I'm not using different weapons and different arms. They've all got the same armament. They've got sword and pistol, and there's even less variation there. So I'm going to have to either learn how to sculpt pretty well, or hope that the guys that are doing the Lord's work with the 3D printing and the sculpting come through with something that, for me, looks comparable. Because I see a lot of these upgrade packs, and some of them are amazing and great, but they're not the aesthetic that I'm looking for. The Grey Tide Studios do amazing stuff. I know you guys have seen.
Oh, I've got loads of stuff from them. Yeah,
but for me, it's not the aesthetic that I'm looking for, because it's a different look to the Games Workshop sculpting style, and I just want more options in the Games Workshop sculpting style.
It's hard to get that. It's hard to get that in 40k. In 30k, you can get quite good variants, because all the armor is kind of different marks, and there's a lot of more narrative based to like what we talked about.
And you can use a lot of the characters and stuff and reappropriate them, scrape some detail off, and what have you, and it all,
They make them nice enough where it's kind of if you add a few GW bits, if you use the Corso but add GW arms, it kind of looks really, really close.
Yeah.
So I really rate those guys.
The thing is, though, the reason you're praising 30k and how all the Marines are plain, but you can customize them, is what GW tried to do with Primaris, where they make them all uniform, and then everyone's like, oh, where's my specialized guy? Where's my what's the name of the Ultramarines with the sword and the shield and the cloak?
Victrix.
Yeah, everyone wanted that. Everyone wanted this is an Ultramarine, whereas when was it 9th edition when Primaris came out, or 8th? 8th. That everyone just had the same model essentially.
But that's possibly because they've only this edition is the first one they've actually redone the
that's what I'm saying
for the chapter specific. So we're already 10 years. We've had 10 years of Primaris, and we're still not at that level of detail yet. And even then,
but they are definitely
super detailed Death Company. I've got intercessors with shoulder pads and a different head. I don't have super detail, and that's an issue. You've got really, really cool things though, inner circle companions, superb, brilliant kit. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Space Wars as well, because obviously they're going to be pretty different with how they look. They're quite distinct. But,
it looks like they're the launch army for 11th edition, right?
Well, they were the next. There's a preview image at the end of after the 4 on the last reveal for the roadmap. Yeah. So I'd imagine they'll be out this year rather than next year.
Oh, really? Because there's rumors that there's a big range refresh for them.
There's definitely a big range refresh for them, and I'm expecting it to be sort of autumn this
Sans
year,
Wolves.
realistically.
Yeah.
But
Basically,
yeah,
take
just
away the wolves.
generally for
Needs to be full
Marines,
Viking.
you're right. Like we were hoping for a bit more chapter specific cool things, and then when I got my upgrade sprue, it was kind of disappointing, man. Like I don't need a bolter with a blood drop on it. That's like really low hanging fruit. That's such low hanging fruit. Don't give me a chainsword with a blood drop on it. Like give me
Sculpt
me
it.
the cool power fist that I used to have in the Sanguinary Guard kit that had like a beautiful backplate on the fist and it was sculpted detail. Like give me cool stuff like that.
That you can't do
but
yourself.
I'm not getting that. Yeah, it's a shame.
No, it is, man. I was just completely lost my train of thought then. We were talking about Space Wolves coming back.
Yeah.
And them losing their
Yiff.
wolf aesthetic.
Hopefully.
And then, do you think they're going to strip it back completely, or do you think they're going to still keep the Viking aspect to it?
Well, I think they'll lean more towards the Viking because I think the general kind of consensus is like Wolfie McWolf face is like just a bit silly.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with the Thunderwolf cavalry because from what I've heard from all the rumours in various different places, they're not getting redone. And they're obviously old scale, very old kits with Firstborn on them. So they might just go to Legends, potentially, and just get rid of that entire, and just sort of retcon and pretend it never happened. And we can all, be happy that. But I'm not sure because at the moment, especially if you look at competitive play, Thunderwolf Cavalry are such a huge part of the Space Wolf identity on the tabletop. So it's going to be difficult to redo because they need so much being redone, right? They're going to need a Terminator kit because Wolfguard Terminators are super iconic. They're going to need either a huge upgrade sprue for Grey Hunters, Blood Claws, and Wolfguard in power armor. They're going to have some kind of special Blade Guard kit because if they don't, that is just pissing money away. Like you're not having a special Wolfguard Blade Guard veterans kit is literally just an absolute travesty. I've heard that they're going to redo Logan Grimnar again, so that'll be the third time that he's been redone. He's up there with Marnius Calgar.
Love that original model.
Sculpts.
But he's like on foot now, isn't he?
Yeah, on foot, and they're getting rid of Santa's sleigh, that nonsense Santa's sleigh thing.
That's so bad.
So it seems, from what I've heard, the rumours are like they're moving away from Wolfie McWolfface and my riding the wolves into battle and getting pulled by the wolves on the sleigh, and it's more like hunters with the Fenrisian wolf companions, which is what they used to have. They used to have that rule before where you could bolt on Fenrisian wolves to join your characters and they'd like be their guards, basically.
I can already see it now. Like leather details and like, there's going to be like bows on the scalps. Sparingly,
a few furs, maybe cloaks on the big characters, and that's it. Not just stuff everywhere. I hope they don't lean into. I'll be honest with you, I hate the 30k aesthetic that they've done for those sculpts with like the big, massive runes. I think that looks really bad.
I agree.
I think when I see stuff sculpted on minis, that just looks wrong at that scale. Because you think about it, like runes,
it would
and
be
stuff,
like massive.
and filigree, like the Blood Angels filigree, for me looks really bad at that scale. Because I think, wow, if that guy was 8 foot tall in front of me, this would be so fat and chunky and look really crap.
Yeah. Like any carvings would be like
basically. So I'm not a huge fan of like too many runes. I don't mind like a couple of runes or runes on weapons and that kind of thing. But to be fair though, they did it really, really well on the new Terminator Librarian from the Leviathan box. I thought that guy looked really cool.
He's good.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing. So I hope there's just like small details, and they're more kind of characterful in their poses and their heads and that kind of thing. That's what I'm here.
I think the worst they can do is like redo a wolf priest, and he's just standing there with a stick.
Yeah,
just covered in runes.
Bro, Will Tricks on or Wilt Riches or whatever, however you say it, Wiltrix on Instagram did a converted wolf priest that is converted out of the new Khan.
Oh, cool.
Primaris guy from
with the
White
bird.
Scars. Yes, yeah. What's his name?
Yeah.
He's not Jagatai Khan. That's the Primarch. What's his damn name?
No.
And he used to have a bike and Moondraken. Anyway, he converted him. He kept the really cool cloak, and he's got like a nice converted. Corsaro Khan, my guy. The conversion's absolutely banging. He's done a great job, beautiful paint job. Hopefully, I'll find it. I'll send it to Lawrence. He can drop it in. But that's the kind of vibes that I'm going for. He's painted him with like a cool, like shaved head, scalp with tattoos down the side. Like that's proper like Space Wolf aesthetic to me. The character gets a big cloak. He's got a couple of trinkets on, and he just looks like a proper badass. You know, that's what I'm here for. Not Wolfie McWolf face with the stupid wolf.
Have you guys seen Valbjorn on Instagram?
Yeah.
He makes like the best
beautiful sculpts.
Like space wolf models I've ever seen. That's what they should be for me.
Yeah, they look so
like,
grizzled
proper,
and like they've been through so much. I love that. That's what I'm here for.
They're more like
all of that.
Celtic, I guess, than like Viking almost. But they have the like brutal, like woodland winter warrior kind of vibe that I really fuck with.
Does he have none that are painted? He's got the conversions are sick, but I can't
he just converts them, I think, and
he just
sells
makes them.
a lot of them.
I respect him.
He's like that guy Amphiarus as well. Who converts and then they generally.
Is that the guy who did the Ultramarines like Dreadnought recently? That was absolutely sick. Did you see that guy who, converts for commissions? He did a Dreadnought. Oh my god, that thing was insane.
Not sure. Haven't
I'll
seen
find
that.
I'll find that.
He's currently working on a repost Sanguinius. He's done loads of stuff.
Nice.
And then they've got Requiem 92, who does like loads of cool Dark Angel stuff, a lot of kit bashes.
He's my favourite. Favourite.
Love his stuff as well. So all that stuff is great, and obviously it's possible. It like inspires me to try and do more with these kind of limited Primaris sculpts. But that's for future me, because I've got armies to get battle ready to play in tournaments, which I'm going to this weekend. Haha.
Amen.
Great chat as always, man. Thank you very much. I love that we hit all of our points and then we just go off on a little
I enjoyed that. It was really good. Yeah. Any ideas for what we should talk about on our next session?
No, we'll work on that and come back with a surprise. I love that we're just hitting all of these angles. We really are doing the engage on all fronts thing.
Engaging on all fronts.
Competitive, modelling, converting, painting. I can't wait to start getting some interviews in and like getting some 100%. More vlogs running as well. Going to be doing all of that. We want to look at getting guests on also. So yeah, we're just falling in love with Warhammer again and really enjoying it. And now that Morgan's not killing himself for 75 days straight, you might actually pick a paintbrush up as well.
I will indeed. That is on my list. I've tidied my desk ready to go.
You know what we need to do? I need to challenge you for our next painting challenge. I need to challenge you to paint
every day
Primaris Calgar.
Bro, we haven't even finished the first challenge.
You haven't.
You have, yeah, but like
this guy, the guy who painted the biggest model out of all of you.
Yeah,
got his 10 battle ready points.
Mine's pretty much. Mine's like 90% there. It's 90% there. I don't know.
You told me it couldn't be done. You told me it was impossible. And guess what?
Do you know what? Do you know what'd be nice? It'd be nice if I'd like to see if anyone watching this who they would like us to bring on the show and interview, just in case there's people that we've missed. That'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Any feedback as well, what you want us to talk about, if you've got any memories you want us to go over. Like we want to like enjoy our historical connection with 40k. Like I've been into it since first edition technically, and we've all been in and out, on and off with the hobby for the last 3 decades. And but also moving forwards as well. So yeah, we're happy to just do anything. As I said, we're falling in love again with 40k and having a great time doing it. I hope you guys are having a great time joining us. Make sure that you give us a sub here on the YouTube. Click the like button and drop us a comment below. You can find us on most socials as well. Just look for Engage on All Fronts and we should come up in the search if the algorithm is doing its business.
And we are on Apple and Spotify.
Mate,
So if you want to listen to us,
so professional.
Maybe do it there and give us a nice little review.
If you are listening to us on podcast platforms, check us out on YouTube because you can watch the videos there and see all the visual aids.
Yeah. And Lawrence spends a long time doing it all, so please go watch the video because it's sick. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's not your average.
I'm gonna have lots of,
You're really hyping this up.
I'm going to have lots of DJI footage for you
I am.
from my tournament adventure as well.
If this video isn't awesome now, I'm out. I'm getting replaced with like...
Who? Who's going to replace you?
Fiverr.
We can't replace that haircut, mate. It's impossible.
An editor.
Go down to the Chinese resin mines and get the guy that made your microphone.
True. Well, look, I think we wrap it up there. Let's
Absolutely.
call it a day. Thanks, boys.
See you next time, guys.
Yeah. See you later,
Thank you very
guys.
Peace out.